What is going on, everyone's? We are here. We are back with another episode of
Is my point valid?
Yes, indeed. I am Brandon D. Stocker.
I am Camille A. Stalker.
And we're gonna go ahead and jump into this thing. Y'all know how we get started with what you know good. So, what you know good, baby?
All right, so on Friday, Sidney Poitier passed away. He was at the age of 94. He was a Bahamian American actor. The first movie I was ever introduced to by him was To Sir with Love, and that's a movie where he is in London and he is a teacher. He's a black teacher to some white children, and they give him a hard time, but he sticks it out. So that's like the first movie. I think, matter of fact, my mama introduced me to that movie. So my ultimate favorite Sidney Poitier movie is Lilies of the Field, and if you've ever seen it, it's amazing when he sings Amen, when he's singing right. And then, but Lilies of the Field is also special because this is where he won the Academy Award for Best Actor, and he was the first black male to win. I forgot to get the year for that. I think it was 1967, possibly. I think. Then next up, you have movies like Guess Who's Coming to Dinner or Raisin in the Sun. That's one of a favorite book of mine, and he did Walter Lee. Look here, he did that. Brother John is a movie that confuses the heck out of me because I don't know if he's supposed to be God or what. So that movie, it's interesting. That's a really good movie, but I'm just confused because he shows up and then like back in his town, and like they just give him a hard time, but he's been everywhere as a black man, and so he's in prison and in jail. He's in jail, and then he disappears. So I don't know if he was like an angel, if he was God. I don't know. If y'all know, let me know. Then there was Buck and the Preacher. That's when he was in there with Harry Belafonte. Uptown Saturday Night and Let's Do It Again. Those are the comedies, and he was in there with Cosby. And then the last one that I really enjoyed, which was he was in his older age, is The Simple Life of Noah Dearborn. It was a TV movie. It was cute. They were trying to take his land, and he wasn't gonna give up his land. Like he wasn't gonna give it up. Sidney Poitier was also a director. I know he directed Uptown Saturday Night and Let's Do It Again. If you've seen, what is it, Ghost Dad? He was the director of that. That was Cosby, and that was Cosby again.
Seemed like he did a lot of work with Bill Cosby.
He did. He was an activist and on the front line of changing and opening doors for black people. If you saw him, then you saw Harry Belafonte. And although they were not he was born, Sidney Poitier was born here in the United States. They were out there marching and trying to make sure that voices were heard. So he made beautiful work while on this earth. He made lots of beautiful work. And that's all I have for What You Know Good.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get into the topic. And speaking of Sidney Poitier, what's the topic for today, baby?
What is your mark?
All right. So, any backstory with that?
So, Sidney Poitier left a mark on the world with playing roles that caught your attention, like Guess Who. And in Guess Who, if you haven't seen it, you see that this is where he wants to marry a white woman. And he goes to her home and he meets her parents. And then his parents are on their way and they don't know that she's white and her parents don't know that he's black. And but they come to see that does color really matter? But yeah, that's one of them. And it showcases the differences with the families or in the movie In the Heat of the Night. did you know that that was a movie before it was a TV show? That's where they got that from? Virgil Tibbs. And this is where he demands respect because the sheriff's walking around calling him boy. He like, yo, although I'm black, I'm still a man, so treat me as such. And that's really what a lot of his roles were. I'm a man. Although I am not the same shade of color as you, I am still a man and you will treat me as such. And so he left a mark with knocking down racial barriers. So that just got me to thinking, we are speaking so positively about him. Last week we were speaking so positively about Betty White and what she was a good woman and all that. And she gave, she was real, about animals. But we're seeing that this black man was this way as well, right? So my question is, what mark would you leave or would you want to leave? What do you want people to remember about you?
Me personally, I'm not sure. I really want people to see that I was pretty much a good person. I don't really know.
But like he was, I'm not gonna say petitioning, like out marching and with Martin Luther King and at the I was gonna say the Million Man March, the march on Washington, and he was helping black people and he was taking roles. He stood his ground. What would you stand your ground in and making sure that people say, okay, this is how I remember Brandon?
I'm not sure. I don't know. What? I mean, for me, I just want people to know that I was.
But it's not even what you want people to know. I for him, I think it was. He was just doing what he felt was right. What are you doing that you feel is right that can leave the stamp on the world? People write books. You look at Maya Angelou. She wrote books, and she told her story, so that helps people. You look at James Baldwin. I'm naming authors. But they told these stories or they did these interviews, and you look at their lives now, and you see like, oh, you might not have got it then, but you get it now. How are you contributing to society like they did?
Right now, I couldn't even put myself in that same realm. I would like to be that type of person that because I've gone through things like everyone else has. So I would like to be that person who will be an example for those like young men, even young women coming up in the circumstances that I have. I would like to be an advocate for just letting them know that there is better out there. There is more. There is a better path than what we're looking at, what we're seeing, because half of the time people don't even know that there's better on the other side. Like I have people that are from California and they think that the gang culture is everywhere. So it's like I want to be that voice to let people know that there is better out here. You don't have to fall victim to a job or society expectations or anything like that. It's just you can do what you want to do out here.
So you want your mark to be that you tell people they could do whatever they want to do out here.
Yeah, I guess. What would your mark be?
I don't know. Because people leave different things, and then it's like who, like you're saying, who do you reach or how far is your reach? And I think I would want my mark to be to show women and little girls that like it's just like it's okay. Like fight for what you believe in and don't let anybody like tear you down or anything like that. I think that's the messages that I want to leave like behind, and people can look back on it and be like, oh, okay, I remember Camille kind of fought for this. But and then we're kind of downplaying that we don't have a platform. We do have a platform. This is a platform. Absolutely. People can look back and look at this and say, we spoke up for what was right, and we have always spoke up for what was right. How are we leaving our marks? We're coming out every week, and we're stating, a book. We're stating a fun fact from a TV show. We're stating history. We're leaving our mark, because when this show really takes off, people going to be like, on this day in Black history, they're going to know, okay, they're giving me some history. They're giving me what good. Like, and then you get the basis of, well, I'm eventually tell y'all where I got what good from. But like, these are the things we're leaving a mark with, is my point. I'm speaking it now. This is bigger than me. This is bigger than you. This is bigger than the both of us. I created this to be a space for a husband and wife, just like Sidney Poitier. He didn't know that he was going to be an actor. Like that wasn't.
That was one of the things I was going to say is, Sidney Poitier. He didn't know. He didn't know. He was just walking in his path.
Martin Luther King ain't.
They didn't know these things. So
I don't know.
Exactly. It's like you don't really know your mark because you haven't walked in it yet.
I'm walking in it right now. I don't know what the influence would be.
Yeah.
But I know right now I am I'm just saying, I am creating a space where I feel it is safe for people to see, and I specifically say women and young girls because I am a woman. Like, if a little boy looking up to me, okay.
Yeah.
But
you never know.
But, I'm saying that because I am a woman. So that mark is this. If I call out that I've been through something and I can say it on this show, okay, then that's a mark.
Transparency is a mark, because a lot of people aren't willing to show them truth, to show them exactly. So that's another thing that helps build confidence within our listeners or our followers, to let them know that it's okay.
It's okay
to speak on how you feel. There may be backlash.
There's going to be backlash. It's amazing though. I don't really ever remember seeing any backlash for Sidney Poitier. You look at a lot of people today. I never saw anything. Yeah.
Even in the era that he was in, I've never heard anything sideways.
Nothing. Yeah. I've seen beautiful words spoken of him. I've seen maybe just that one thing, but that was a marital thing. Him and I can't think of her daggone name. She played Julia.
I don't know.
I can't think of her name, but that was just like the only little thing, and that was like I'm saying that was just a marital thing. He was extramarital activity, but anything other than that,
never.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think what is your mark, or what is your mark that you want to leave? And I don't want, of course, you want people to be like, oh, she was a good person, but
how?
What did I contribute to
specifically
my community, to society?
And that's another thing that I'm into is community work, volunteering, things like that. So that's another way of showing people that you don't always have to get out here and want to get paid for everything. Sometimes you got to pay your dues. Sometimes you got to put the work in so people can see that you're serious. Yeah. So they know that when you do have something worth paying for, that, okay, this person is legit.
Yeah.
So.
Is it important for people to remember you?
I wouldn't say it's important for people to remember you. If you're walking in what you're supposed to be doing, that's a given. It's like,
it's just a question.
It ain't that. Yeah. I don't think it's important for people. No, I don't.
Because what we're doing this work on this earth for is not for. I mean, it is for people because
it's not for everybody.
We're here to serve people, but the ultimate goal of why we're here is for what God has called us to do, right? Like that ultimately. So I don't know if it's of importance for people to remember you, but I think it is. I think it is important for us to live in our highest of what God, like I was saying, like what God called us to what God called us to do here on earth, and to be acknowledged for that. Like, what is your specialty? What are you, how are you serving? Like, basically, it's not like what are you doing? I'm a plumber, you know. It's not about that. You're more than a plumber. I am more than,
you're more than any occupation that you could fathom up.
But so it was just, what is your mark? I just thought that was a question you think about. How do you want to be remembered? And of course, everybody's generic answer would probably be, I want to be like I said, a good person. A good person. And I think one person in particular who I think their mark would really just stand out a lot, because they're speaking like their truth and standing in it and running like with it, is Project Daddy. And why I say that is because there is misinformation that's being given, and every week on his show he stands up and he takes a stand to
give you the right information,
give you the correct information, to make you wonder, to make you Google and be like, where the hell you learn this at? And
just
then
spark your mind so you can do your own research.
Do that. And it gives you it gives you something. So I feel like that's leaving a mark of, information, because you can look at TMZ. I don't know why I called their names. You could look at
all of these news platforms,
all of them
that provide you with false information, misinformation. They just give you, it seems like they just give you what they hear, and it's on you to decipher whether it's real or not.
What mark they are leaving.
Exactly.
Right? So I just wanted to acknowledge Project Daddy, because the mark that he is leaving it's a beautiful one. Absolutely. It's good information.
And I know it's scary for him, just knowing him. I know that putting yourself out there like that, it can always be scary, because
this is scary.
Yeah, like I say, the backlash and the people who are going to disagree and all these things that comes with standing in your truth. Yeah. So if standing in your truth is more important than people's opinion, then you just got to walk in that.
Like, and you could be like, man, he stood there and he told his truth. And wouldn't it be awesome if we're looking at Sidney Poitier, and we're saying, he was this person, but he stood in his truth and whatever it is that he did, despite if there's some negative out there, he stood in what was his, and he lived a full life. So maybe if we all stood in what we believed in, and not, well, maybe we shouldn't all stand in what we believe in.
I don't know about all that.
What if we all stood for what was correct, right? And how beautiful lives we would live. Because, I have two.
We can all learn from Mr. Poitier.
Poitier, sure. I have two grandmothers who are 90 and 89, like 90 plus, and then like 89, I believe. And so it's like, woo, that's a mark. Like that's legacy.
Even being around that long is legacy. They've been through a lot of different eras. Yeah. They've seen a lot of different change, and the knowledge within those brains is just incredible. Yeah. So, yep. Walk in your truth. What Project Daddy say? Tell your truth and get some power.
Get some power and
I'm trying to tell you. One time for hands up for Project Daddy. Hands up to the ceiling. We in this thing, yes sir. Shout out to Project Daddy.
Yep. But or if y'all understand where we're going, what is your mark that you would want to leave? If you don't want to leave a mark, that's fine too.
If you don't know,
fine with not being out in the front of people, that's cool. But I think also not being in the front and just being in the back and doing what you do, it can be acknowledged as well. That's all I got. What's your mark?
What is your mark? Let us know. We would love to have a conversation about your mark, how you feel your mark is going to be left, all of that. But that's going to wrap it up for the topic for the day. Mm-hmm. So before we get on up out of here, y'all know we got to hit them in the head one time for your mind with On This Day in Black History. So today is January 10th. So the Southern Christian Leadership Conference was created January 10th, 1957 in Atlanta, Georgia. Shout out to GA. The SCLS was created to put together and support nonviolent actions during the desegregation of the business system in the South.
The bus system.
The bus system. What did I say? The business?
Business.
I'm so sorry. The bus system in the South. Martin Luther King was the first president of the organization. The organization also included Fred Shuttlesworth, Joseph Lowry, Bayard Rustin, and Ella Baker. And that was On This Day in Black History. So we continue to thank everyone for tuning in, showing us love. We're going to be here every Monday with a hot new topic for your mind, a hot new On This Day. And just thank y'all. Catch us on all podcast streaming platforms. Make sure you like, subscribe, all of that good stuff to help us and our channel grow. We appreciate everything y'all do, and continue to rock with us. We'll see y'all next week. Bye. Bye.